The founder of our country is Jacques Dessalines, and that's his chosen name. Having been caught into the Euro-Christian slavery system, he bore many names, as he was not a very docile person. He was often sold, and in each plantation given a different name. But he managed to get his freedom, and he named himself Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Fought for 14 years against the Spaniards, against the British, against the French, and won every time. Since 1802, to be specific, March 22, 1802, is when he made the formal promise. He told us we would sometimes have to fight. He will sometimes submit to European authorities, but always he will strike against them. And there will be a final battle. We will force them to get out of this island. And that day, I promise you, he said, I will give you independence. March 22, 1802. So, the independence of Haiti was not a hazard, the fruit of hazard. It so happened because X, Y, Z. No. It was planned, programmed by Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Determined, specifics were given and asked. For example, in July 1803, he told the generals, if you can assemble 40,000 troops, I will give the final blow to the French army. The other general said, I will bring 5,000. This one says I'll bring 4,000. The other one, I'll bring 6,000. All right? When we total it up, we should have 40,000. He says, all right. If on October 16, 1803, in the town of Lambaye, you assemble 40,000 troops, then I will give you independence. But if I count 39,999 soldiers on October 16th before sunlight, that will mean you're not yet ready for independence. Therefore, I will drop the subject for now. And sure enough, everybody went to work to assemble their troops. And the population heard about this and decided they too could assemble troops. So people came, families came. Cousins, aunts, grandmothers, granddaughters, nieces, with whatever weapons they could find, sticks, stones, machetes, whatever. And they came and said, yes, we're ready to fight with you. So, October 16, 1803, in Lambaye, before the sunlight was out, Dessalines counted 40,000 troops. And the main generals had not yet arrived. Capois-Lamour was arriving around noon. Marcadieu was arriving even later. So, here he was. He had the troops he needed. And he said, this is the final battle. We're going up north to do it. And so they marched on. And it brought us to battles after battles, and we came to the Battle of Vertières. On that day, November 18, 1803, Dessalines himself did not fight. I guess at that point, he just knew what he had. He didn't have to put his own weight into the battle. So he sat on top of a mountain, on a stone, playing with his tobacco powder and giving orders. Call this one. Tell him to attack here. Call this troop. put them here on the by the river, this one by the bridge, that one over here, telling everybody here, 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 placing, just like somebody playing chess, just positioning everything and sitting up there, not budging from early morning till night. Rain came and left. Rain returned and was gone. Dessalines sat there, giving orders, making things happen. When people talk about Cap la Mort on November 18 and in the Battle of Vertières, they often make our children recite, yes, when Capua was fighting, a bullet hit his horse, a bullet hit his heart, and he said, you know, let's continue the fight. But what they don't tell our children, that would be more useful, make them understand. Dessalines called one general and told him, our flag must be placed on top of this hill in the next hour, within the next hour. This general said, yeah, but you see, the French have... Dessalines said, forget it. Call this other general for me. Other general came. Dessalines told him, in 40 minutes, we must have our flag up there. That general is hesitant also, and Dessalines said, call Capua. Capua comes. In 20 minutes, we must have our flag up there. Yes, Commander. Capua salutes and goes. Capua goes and called Gabart. He told General Gabart, take your guys and the flag. Get up as far as you can. Get up to the top and plant the flag. That's an order from Dessalines. I will stay down here to attract the bullets from the French, so you will be protected to get up there quickly. So Gabart took his troops going up. Capua took his troops and faced the cannons. So it's not a chance, it's not a hazard, it's not like he was surprised. He knew what he was doing. And he placed himself in a position for the French to shoot at him and not the one carrying the flag, because the flag had to get up there in 20 minutes. And sure enough, Gabart got up, planted the flag. Since then they call him Gabart the Valiant One. And Capua got wounded, his horse got killed, all kinds of things happened. But that was a choice, to sacrifice his life so the others would get up and plant the flag. That was the plan. That was the organization that was put in place for things to happen. So when you understand the history, when you get into the details, even on the battlefield, the fraternity, the sharing, the sacrificing, my life, I give it so I will save these. This one will give his life to save those. That's what happened even on the battlefield with us. So we are a people that fought with fraternity, fought with sharing, with respect for one another, even respect for our enemies. Rochambeau had said when he wins the war and caught Dessalines, he would cut him up into small pieces, and put him in sardine boxes. And Dessalines knew that. So when Dessalines won the war, Rochambeau tried everything to try to get out of the island without facing Dessalines. But ultimately, he was forced to come in front of Dessalines. And he wrote in his own journal, Dessalines was magnanimous. Not only did Dessalines tell him, yeah, if you had won, you were going to cut me up. I win, and I send you back to your people. You only have one message. Tell them, never, never should French military set foot here again. That's why I give you and your men your lives. So you can tell them, we are determined, you have to get. And that's how they signed the rendition, and we came to Declaration of Independence on January 1st. Jacques Dessalines. Yes, he experienced slavery, But he was always a free man because there was Tante Toya, an African woman, who taught him the history of the kings of Dahomey, who taught him, who trained him as a military. Tante Toya, who constantly told him, you must bring freedom to the island. I accepted to live in slavery only because I knew you, as I raised you, you will do the job of bringing freedom here. So he was constantly being prepared. No chance, no hazard here. Preparation. A woman who raised her child to become a liberator, not by chance. Training, discipline, organization, proper education, proper information. That's how he was raised. He was a military and he was also a doctor, as it is the principle in Dahomey tradition. If you have a profession where you have to hurt and kill people to protect your soul, you must also know how to heal when people are hurting. So Dessalines was trained that way. He was trained in the Dahomeyan philosophy. And when he became the liberator, later on, he became the emperor of Haiti, of the Empire of Freedom. That's how he would never just say Haiti. Haiti, the Empire of Freedom.